Our story begins above Coruscant. The Battle of Coruscant raged across the stars as countless Republic and Separatist warships exchanged fire above the capital world. Deep within the command bridge of the Invisible Hand, General Grievous watched the battle with growing frustration. The flagship shook violently as turbo-laser fire struck its shields. Slamming his metal fist against a control console, Grievous roared at the nearby battle droids. "Idiots! Fools! We have already captured Chancellor Palpatine," he shouted. "Why are we still fighting? We need to retreat, and the Republic will be forced to surrender." The battle droids simply stared blankly, incapable of answering their commander's rage. Grievous paced across the bridge, his yellow eyes narrowing as reports continued to arrive. Republic warships had penetrated through their defenses, and worse still, Jedi Knights Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker had successfully boarded the flagship. Curious and irritated, Grievous turned toward a security monitor displaying the observation tower. There, Count Dooku dueled the two Jedi. Grievous watched carefully as Obi-Wan was quickly incapacitated, leaving Anakin alone against the Sith Lord. What began as confidence soon became concern. Dooku was being pushed back. Inside the observation tower, Anakin fought with a ferocity unlike anything Dooku had seen before. Every strike carried the weight of his fear, anger, and desperation to save the Chancellor. Dooku attempted to maintain control of the duel, but Anakin's power only continued to grow. The younger Jedi overwhelmed his defenses with a relentless barrage of attacks. Finally, with two devastating strikes, Anakin severed both of Dooku's hands. The Count fell to his knees in shock as his lightsaber tumbled away across the floor. Anakin caught Dooku's fallen weapon and ignited it alongside his own. The two blades crossed at Dooku's neck as the defeated Sith Lord looked up at his conqueror. Behind them, Chancellor Palpatine rose from his chair and smiled coldly. "Good, Anakin. Good. Kill him. Kill him now." Anakin hesitated as the room fell silent. Before he could decide, the blast doors suddenly exploded inward. General Grievous stormed into the chamber accompanied by a squad of Magna Guards, and one of the droids immediately seized the unconscious Obi-Wan Kenobi. Grievous pointed a claw at Anakin. "Release Count Dooku," he growled, "or your master dies." For several tense seconds, nobody moved. Anakin kept both lightsabers pointed at Dooku's neck, while the Magna Guard held Obi-Wan helplessly at electrostaff point. Grievous stood between them, ready to give the order. The only sounds were the distant explosions rocking the Invisible Hand and the hum of lightsabers filling the chamber. Anakin's eyes shifted from Dooku to Obi-Wan. Deep down, he already knew the answer. Killing a defeated prisoner was not the Jedi way. Slowly, he deactivated both blades and tossed Dooku's lightsaber aside. "Let Obi-Wan go," Anakin said firmly. "Then you can have Dooku." Palpatine's expression immediately darkened. "No," he snapped. "He is too dangerous to be left alive." Anakin ignored him, his focus entirely on saving his master. Grievous studied the young Jedi for a moment before motioning to the Magna Guard. The droid released Obi-Wan, allowing his unconscious body to slump onto the floor. As promised, Anakin stepped back from Dooku. The wounded Count slowly rose to his feet, clutching his bleeding stumps and staring directly at Palpatine. For the first time in years, Dooku saw his master not as a mentor, but as the architect of his destruction. Dooku let out a bitter laugh. "So this was always the plan," he said. "You intended for Skywalker to replace me." Palpatine remained silent, but the look in his eyes confirmed everything. Dooku turned toward Anakin. "Listen carefully, boy. Chancellor Palpatine is no victim." Anakin's eyes widened. "He is Darth Sidious, the Dark Lord of the Sith, the Clone Wars, the Separatists, the Republic. All of it has been his design." Shock filled the room. Even Grievous took a step back. The cyborg general had known Sidious existed, but he had never known the Sith Lord and the Chancellor were the same person. Anakin stared at Dooku, searching for deception, but found none. The Count had no reason to lie. Slowly, Anakin raised his lightsaber and pointed it toward Palpatine. "Tell me he's lying," he demanded. For a moment, Palpatine simply sat there. Then his face twisted into a cold smile. "I had hoped you would discover the truth under different circumstances, my boy." With a violent burst of the Force, his restraints shattered apart. A crimson lightsaber flew from his sleeve into his waiting hand. The red blade ignited with a hiss as Darth Sidious rose from the Chancellor's chair. "Unfortunately," he said, "General Grievous has ruined everything." The moment Darth Sidious ignited his crimson blade, the atmosphere in the observation tower changed completely. Grievous realized that every order he had received throughout the war had come from the very man standing before him. The Republic and the Separatists had been manipulated from the beginning. Furious, the cyborg general pointed all four of his mechanical arms towards Sidious. "You used us all," he roared. Sidious answered only with a cold smile before lunging forward like a streak of red lightning. The Magna Guards rushed to intercept the Sith Lord. Their electrostaffs crackled as they surrounded him from every side. It made no difference. Sidious moved faster than any being in the room could follow. Red flashes illuminated the chamber as Magna Guards were sliced apart within seconds. Metal limbs and shattered droid parts crashed across the floor. Grievous ignited all four lightsabers and joined the fight, while Anakin charged in from the opposite side. For the first time in the Clone Wars, Jedi and Separatist fought side by side. Count Dooku watched helplessly from the edge of the room. Injured and without his hands, he could do nothing but observe the battle. Sidious fought with terrifying speed, driving both Anakin and Grievous backward. Every strike carried years of Sith mastery. Sparks flew as lightsabers collided. Grievous attacked with his usual relentless aggression, while Anakin pressed forward with raw power, yet even together they struggled to keep pace with the Dark Lord. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan slowly regained consciousness. Through blurred vision, he saw Anakin, Grievous, and Sidious locked in combat. Instantly understanding the situation, he spotted a fallen Magna Guard staff lying nearby. Reaching out with the Force, he hurled the staff across the room. It smashed directly into the giant observation window. Cracks exploded across the transparent steel before the entire window shattered, unleashing a violent rush of air as everyone suddenly fought to avoid being dragged into the vacuum of space. The chamber erupted into chaos as the vacuum of space pulled at everything inside. Sidious, Anakin, Grievous, and even the wounded Dooku grabbed onto nearby railings to avoid being sucked out of the shattered observation tower. Loose debris, battle droid parts, and broken furniture vanished into the darkness of space. Warning sirens echoed throughout the invisible hand as emergency blast shields began descending over the destroyed window. The moment the shields sealed shut, everyone released their grip and prepared to continue the fight. Grievous wasted no time. Activating his comlink, he broadcast a command to every available battle droid on the flagship. Within minutes, hundreds of B-1 battle droids, B-2 super battle droids, and entire squads of droidekas flooded into the observation tower. The room became packed with Separatist forces. Grievous pointed one of his lightsabers directly at Sidious. "Destroy him," he ordered. Instantly, thousands of blaster bolts filled the air. As the droids opened fire, Grievous retreated from the chamber, knowing that staying behind would only get him killed. Anakin and Obi-Wan grabbed Dooku, used the confusion to escape. Supporting the injured Count between them, the two Jedi hurried through the corridors of the flagship. Behind them, endless blaster fire echoed through the ship as the droid army attempted to overwhelm Sidious. Yet even from a distance, they could sense the terrifying presence of the Sith Lord, cutting through everything in his path. Every few moments, Explosions shook the vessel as more battle droids were destroyed. Sidious was carving a path through the army, determined to kill the three men who now knew the truth. Eventually, the Jedi and Dooku reached the main hangar. Relief began to settle over them as they spotted an escape shuttle waiting nearby. Then the hangar doors opened behind them. Standing amidst smoke, wreckage, and the remains of dozens of battle droids was Darth Sidious. His robes were scorched and torn, but his crimson lightsaber still burned brightly in his hand. His yellow Sith eyes locked onto Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Sidious raised his blade and charged. The final battle for the fate of the galaxy had begun. The silence shattered as Darth Sidious struck with blinding speed. His crimson lightsaber crashed against Anakin's blue blade, while Obi-Wan moved in from the side, forcing the Sith Lord to divide his attention. Master and apprentice fought as one, their years of training together allowing them to anticipate each other's movements without speaking. Obi-Wan's flawless defense created openings for Anakin's powerful assaults, while Sidious answered each attack with terrifying precision. Behind them, Count Dooku staggered backward, too weak to fight, as R2-D2 rolled to his side and frantically beeped for him to head toward the waiting shuttle. Dooku and R2 hurried toward the escape craft, as Anakin and Obi-Wan continued holding Sidious at bay. Seeing his former apprentice attempting to escape, Sidious thrust out his free hand and unleashed a torrent of Force lightning toward Dooku and the astromech. Anakin reacted instantly, stepping between them and catching the lightning on his lightsaber. The blue blade absorbed the crackling energy before Anakin redirected it back toward Sidious, forcing the Dark Lord to leap away. "R2!" Anakin shouted. "Get the ship ready!" The little astromech whistled in acknowledgement and raced aboard the shuttle while Dooku followed close behind. Before the duel could continue, the invisible hand lurched violently beneath their feet. Massive explosions echoed throughout the flagship as warning klaxons blared across every deck. Far outside the hangar, General Grievous had successfully escaped aboard an escape pod. Wasting no time, he ordered every nearby separatist warship to open fire on the crippled flagship. Turbo laser blasts ripped into the invisible hand, causing sections of the hangar ceiling to collapse around the combatants. Flames erupted from shattered fuel lines, while pieces of durasteel crashed onto the deck. Yet Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Sidious continued their deadly duel through the destruction. Realizing the ship was moments away from complete destruction, Anakin and Obi-Wan launched one final coordinated assault. Obi-Wan trapped Sidious's blade in a defensive bind, while Anakin drove him backward with a relentless series of strikes, forcing the Sith Lord to retreat just long enough to create an opening. "Now!" Obi-Wan shouted. The two Jedi sprinted toward the shuttle as it lifted off the deck. But just before Obi-Wan could reach the boarding ramp, a violent explosion tore through the hangar floor beneath him. He stumbled to one knee. Anakin turned to help him. But from the wall of flames, Darth Sidious emerged once more, his crimson blade slashing toward the fallen Jedi. Obi-Wan barely raised his lightsaber in time to block Sidious's killing blow. Sparks erupted between the blue and crimson blades as the hangar collapsed around them. Anakin immediately turned back, ignoring the shuttle's open ramp. "Master!" he shouted as he sprinted toward Obi-Wan. The Jedi Master looked over his shoulder and saw the flames spreading across the hangar, while alarms screamed throughout the dying flagship. He knew there was no longer enough time for both of them to escape. Summoning every ounce of strength he had left, Obi-Wan unleashed a tremendous Force push that hurled Anakin backward through the shuttle's ramp. "Go!" Obi-Wan commanded. "Live the life I know you were meant to live." The ramp sealed shut as Anakin pounded helplessly against the cockpit window, watching Obi-Wan stand alone before Darth Sidious. A heartbeat later, a massive explosion engulfed them both, consuming Jedi and Sith alike. Anakin screamed in grief as R2-D2 desperately piloted the shuttle away from the exploding invisible hand. Pieces of the Separatist flagship rained through Coruscant's atmosphere while enemy fighters opened fire on the fleeing shuttle. A burst of laser fire struck the starboard wing, sending the craft spiraling violently toward the city below. Fighting through tears, Anakin forced himself into the pilot's seat and struggled to regain control, but the damage was too severe. The shuttle slammed into the streets of Coruscant in a fiery crash that echoed across the capital. By the time Masters Yoda and Mace Windu arrived with Republic rescue teams, the Battle of Coruscant had ended. They found Anakin and the badly injured Count Dooku, barely clinging to life inside the wreckage. R2-D2, however, had been completely destroyed protecting the cockpit during the crash. Feeling both survivors fading through the Force, Yoda and Windu rushed them to the Jedi Temple's medical center, unaware of the incredible truth they carried. With Grievous now the last remaining leader of the Separatists, the Republic launched its full strength to end the war. Every available fleet, Clone Legion and Jedi Task Force hunted the cyborg general across the Outer Rim until he was finally cornered on Utapau. There, Mace Windu and Kit Fisto led thousands of clone troopers into battle against Grievous's droid army. The streets of the Sinkhole world became a battlefield as blaster fire illuminated the city from every direction. At the battle's center, Windu and Fisto confronted Grievous together. The cyborg fought with unmatched fury, spinning all 4 lightsabers in a desperate attempt to survive. But against 2 Jedi Masters, his defeat was inevitable. Windu crushed Grievous's mechanical defenses with the Force before Fisto struck the final blow, ending the life of the Separatist Supreme Commander. With Grievous dead, the Clone Wars officially came to an end. Weeks later, Anakin finally opened his eyes inside the Jedi Temple's healing wing. Waiting beside him were Padme Amidala and Master Yoda. After learning that R2 had perished in the crash, the memories of the invisible hand came rushing back. Palpatine's true identity, Dooku's confession, and Obi-Wan's final sacrifice. Fighting back tears, Anakin revealed everything. Yoda and Padme were stunned to learn that Chancellor Palpatine had been Darth Sidious all along, but together they agreed that revealing the truth would only plunge the recovering Republic into chaos. Dooku was imprisoned within the Jedi Temple for the remainder of his life, where he spent his final years reflecting on his failures. Soon afterward, Padme gave birth to healthy twins, Luke and Leia. Recognizing Anakin's loyalty and the sacrifices he had made, the Jedi Council accepted his marriage to Padme and granted him the rank of Jedi Master, giving him Obi-Wan's former seat on the Council. From that day forward, Anakin dedicated his life to honoring his fallen master, raising his children in peace, and becoming the wise and honorable Jedi that Obi-Wan Kenobi had always believed he could be. The Sith were gone, the Clone Wars were over, and for the first time in generations, the galaxy entered an era of lasting peace. And that is where our story ends. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all for the support. And as always, may the Force be with you.